Hello, and welcome to our presentation of the On-Time, In-Full Leonardo Accelerator. My name is Connor Nelson, and I have been a HANA and BI consultant for the past 5 years. I started at SAP, and I'm now working for Mindtree's SAP practice, Bluefin Solutions. I'm joined here with my colleague Rob York from Relational Solutions. Hey Rob.
Hey Connor. Thank you. My name is Rob York. I'm one of the two founders of Relational Solutions. Relational Solutions has been in business for 22 years. We were acquired by Mindtree 2.5 years ago. And we specialize in data science and data analytics for the consumer goods industry. What I'm going to do is cover the next couple slides, then Connor will get into the actual demo itself of the OTIF solution that we're going to be describing here. Okay, so OTIF, what is OTIF? OTIF is on-time and in-full delivery. What that means is, what we're trying to do is create the perfect order fulfillment. The perfect order fulfillment is, basically getting an order, making sure the truckload is full and has the complete order in every truckload, and it arrives on time on the day it's supposed to arrive at the retailer distribution center. That's what OTIF is all about. And what we're doing here is we're trying to optimize the supply chain to avoid costly penalties from the retailers. So the business challenge here is that the retailers, one in particular, the largest one in the world, is penalizing suppliers if the order is not fulfilled in full and does not arrive, and if it does not arrive at the DC, at the distribution center, at the retailer distribution center on time. And that means that day. So the date of the appointment is the date it needs to arrive. If it's 1 hour early or 1 hour late, it's considered not on time. If the truckload doesn't contain the full order, it's also considered a violation, and the supplier is fined by the retailer. So what OTIF does is it basically tracks that. So this solution will track all of this, and it will come up with why, the root cause of why the order was not fulfilled correctly. So what we're striving to do is correct those problems, and in doing so, what you're going to see and what Connor's going to show you is not only does it tell you what happened, it also tells you what the root cause of the problem is. And that's very important so that you can take action in fixing that problem. So we're going to begin the demo, and Connor will cover, basically the first 4 or 5 screens is an overview of, okay, what is going on. So first of all, you have to understand what's happening, okay? How many are late? How many are fulfilled? How many are arriving early? Okay, then he's going to get into, okay, why is this happening? So the root cause analysis and the penalty that suppliers would incur. Thanks, Connor.
All right, thanks Rob. Welcome to the On-Time and Full analytics solution hosted in the SAP Cloud platform. To create this demo, we took real customer data, imported it into HANA, and created our models. We then used the Analytics Cloud live connection to connect to HANA and start creating our visualizations. The first page of our story is the shipment overview. Here, consumer products and good companies can get a high-level overview of how much has been ordered, shipped, and growth over the past year, as indicated by all of these KPIs at the top. We can also utilize the geomap and layers on it to better visualize where there has been growth in each state or distribution center. You can see the map takes advantage of Analytical Cloud's conditional formatting feature, where we can create rules to map to a value, such as less than 1% is represented by red, between 1 and 2% is represented by yellow, and above 2% is represented by green. Now here you'll also see the circles on there, which are each distribution center. And again, the color is the year-over-year growth, whereas the size of each circle is the number of cases fulfilled. To the right here, we have 2 combination bar line charts, one for DC and one for item category. Both charts display cases ordered versus cases fulfilled on the bars, as well as year-over-year growth with the red line. Now all of these charts are live and interactive. So if I go ahead and click on one of these bars, you'll be able to see it brings up options for me to filter, exclude, or click on Smart Insights, which takes advantage of the machine learning algorithms. Because we've set up hierarchies within our data model, we can go ahead and drill down into Asian meals, and it will go ahead and bring up the subcategories for those. Now, another nice feature of Analytics Cloud is that you can go ahead and click on one of the bars and you could see the variances between them. So, a lot of the time you'll really want to go ahead and see the variance between cases fulfilled and the total cases ordered. So it's really nice that you can go ahead and see that right on the fly. All right, let's move on to the On Time in Full summary page. Okay, here we can see our KPIs for compliance, number of cases ordered, and year-over-year change. To the left, we have filters for time, department, DC, as well as item. And if I go ahead and filter on some of these departments, we'll go ahead and see that the filter applies to all KPIs on the screen, and they are, page filters. So we'll go ahead and take those off.
So on this page, notice that down below in the middle three KPIs, you'll see where the cases received late are greater than the cases that are on time. So the big issue here is pretty obvious, is that there are too many cases that are being delivered late. So those cases then would be penalized. That's a problem. So now that we know that's a problem, I think later on in Connor's demonstration here, we're going to find out what the primary cause of the late shipment is so that action can be taken to correct it. Thanks, Connor.
Right. No problem. All right, the OTIF compliance scorecard. So on this page, once it loads, we could further see how compliant we are being. At the top, you have your KPIs for PO, number of cases, OTIF compliant, and the percentage compliance. As you can see from our line graph here, we've been under the minimum objective for compliance percentage for most of the year, but we've kicked it up in December. Now, because this is a time series chart, we can go ahead and take advantage of some of the predictive capabilities and select automatic forecast. So it takes some of our previous data, puts it into predictive algorithms, and it will churn out what it predicts our compliance percentage will be in the ensuing months. And it'll also give us an upper and a lower bound as well, which is really cool. And to the right here, we have a couple of bar charts, which can further help us understand compliance by DC and by item. Rob, would you like to go ahead and explain this bottom chart?
Yes, you can scroll down a little bit. Yeah, perfect. So if you'll notice to the right on the grid there at the bottom where Connor has his mouse, you'll see the percentage in full, and then you'll see the percentage on time. So notice how the percentage in full, for the most part, is around 90%. Many of them are above 90%. However, the on-time delivery is well below 50% across the board. So once again here, what we're seeing is the trucks are being loaded properly, but it's not arriving to the distribution center on time. This is a big issue. So what this means is not only will the supplier be penalized, but if it's arriving late, there's a good chance that the stores are also going to be running out of stock before they can be reloaded. All right, so this needs to be addressed, and in the next couple that Connor shows you, this is where we're going to address this issue.
Okay, great. Let's move to the our GeoMap page. So on this page, it allows us to see the compliance percentage as indicated by the color of each circle. And then the size of each circle, again, represents the cases fulfilled. And we can see that here in this legend. Here it looks like some of our DCs in the west are doing better than some of our DCs in the south. So perhaps we'd like to go ahead and look into why that's happening. To the right here, we have another combination bar/line chart, which comes in handy when trying to visualize many measures at once. Here we can see the percentage compliance per week on the bar, and then percentage late, early, and unfulfilled represented by the different colored lines. And again, we have some filters on the top if you want to go ahead and drill down further. Penalty for non-compliance. On this page, we can finally see how much our non-compliance is costing us. In a similar fashion to our OTIF summary page, we have some filters to the left and a bunch of KPIs at the top. We can easily check how we are stacking up this year as compared to our previous year. The graphs below tell us how we could further break it down by DC. And down here, we can also see how much each D has done compared to its previous year.
Yeah, and notice in that chart, Connor, that we have your mouse.
Yeah.
It does show that there's year-over-year improvement kind of across the board. And the trend chart kind of shows that the red trend line in the bottom right-hand chart shows that there's improvement. The problem is the improvement isn't great enough to overcome the issues with late deliveries at this point.
Right. Yeah, and it's organized from largest to least, so you can easily see which ones have improved the most, which is nice. All right, let's get into.
And that you just hovered over, that bar you just hovered over.
Yeah.
Shows it, even though it's negative. Okay, what that actual negative means is that's the penalty. So whether the penalty is greater or less than the year before, you'll notice that most of all the penalties are actually less than the prior year.
Yeah. Great. Okay, let's go to this root cause analysis page. So naturally, we also want to find out what some of our goods are not reaching their distribution center on time or in full. So on this page, we have analyzed the data and determined 6 different categories for root causes. And we can go ahead and filter on this department, snacks and beverages, and we can go ahead and see that the late delivery is 58%. And if we go to packaged deli department, we can go ahead and see that the late delivery is 48%. So we could potentially look into why that is happening and one is doing better than the other. Lastly, we have our delivery lead time analysis page, where we could further look into some of the key dates that determine compliance. In some cases, it may not have been the CPG company's fault for late deliveries due to late appointment creation dates, or by creating a must-arrive-by date, which is unreasonable. Here, all 3 bar charts display the number of days between significant dates for each root cause. In this first chart, we can see that the average number of days for late delivery was only 12, which is definitely a factor in why they were late.
Yeah, and if we take a look at that, so the 12 days that you just highlighted, so that's the date that the order was taken to the number of days they have to it where it needs to arrive at the actual DC.
Yeah.
So when the order was taken, it's supposed to take 12 days to get there. And if you look at the other areas that are not problematic, they're all above 20%. Or, I'm sorry, 20 days.
Yeah.
That one's at 12. Now, if you go to the chart to the right, you also see the appointment create to the appointment date. So that's 20 days. So there's the problem right there. The lead time in the prior chart is telling you it's 12 days, yet we know it's going to take 20 days for it to get there. Okay, that's really the bottom line here. And if you look at the other the other areas for on time and in full, and the other ones, they're mainly 14 days. So there's a problem here, and all of the late deliveries seem to have the same issue, where the order date to the must arrive by date is less than what is actually being allocated for that particular order, which is the 20 days.
Yeah. All right. Well, that about wraps up our demo part of this. Let's go back to one of the slides and we can just go through some of the business benefits of this solution.
Sure. So one of the things that you saw here was where we're able to track whether the OTIF calculation is improving or not improving over time. So that's really important. So knowing the root cause and then taking the action is absolutely essential to improvement. But here, there could be other areas that are lacking. So let's say you improve late delivery, now you're delivering, those pretty much on time, but what if early deliveries start occurring? You'll be able to find that out here. And you'll be able to track it and see if it's improving or not improving. The other thing that you have to keep in mind here is this is very proactive also. Even though the OTIF data itself is a kind of a historical view, we're able to do things like forecasting based on the trends that are showing, and then kind of show that in the one chart, onto whether we think it's going to continue improvement or whether it's going to drop. All right. So we're kind of taking a look forward based on whether action has been actually taken on this. And then finally, what we're really wanting to get to here is reducing or eliminating the penalty from the retailer, but also this is a good indication of, okay, are we going to have issues actually at the shelf level? If we're consistently late, I can guarantee you're going to be having out of stock occurrences more often. So this is a very, very powerful tool in a lot of different ways, both for supply chain and for on-shelf availability.
All right, great. Well, that about wraps it up for our presentation of the On-Time in Full Accelerator. If you are interested in learning more, please feel free to reach out to Rob or myself. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.